There was a time in my life where I couldn't get out of bed for 4 hours after waking up in the morning. From there, I went to doing a morning workout, followed by 4 to 5 hours of focused works, and then practicing music because I want to perform on stage, and going to the gym for somewhere between 30 to 45 minutes. And here are the 3 key spiritual ideas that has led to that transformation. Okay, so let's talk about vision and why vision has the potential to unleash an abundance of energy without making any material changes. A vision, if inspired by true desire, energizes us. If you are into self-help, personal development, manifestation, this type of thing, a lot of people are struggling with getting out of bed. And this is something that I can relate to as well, back in my days of depression and severe anxiety. And a lot of that happens because we don't have anything to look forward to. We don't feel pulled towards going out there and getting something. And that problem is solved by vision. There is one thing that you need to be cautious about though. Ideally, this vision should be something that inspires you and is inspired by your true desire and not by external voices, because then you wouldn't feel pulled to it as much. And when I say vision, I don't necessarily mean it has to be this lofty, complicated thing. Actually, it should be something that's fairly simple. As Neville Goddard would say, it should be an imaginal scene that represents your wish being fulfilled. And once we formulate that picture, we keep running that over and over again in our imagination to keep stoking the fire of desire. And that in turn translates to effortless action towards that vision. Resistance goes down. Mental chatter goes down, self-criticism goes down, and we can do more with what we already have. Neville says in his book, The Power of Awareness, that man is limited only by his poverty of imagination and his weakness of attention. I would like to talk a little bit about the weakness of attention part, because this is also another one of those modern day digital era crises that we are all having to deal with. What happens when we get distracted? We end up putting our energy in something that doesn't serve our vision. And then you don't have the energy to do the things that matters. And it has been scientifically proven this constant release of dopamine leaves us feeling drained down the line and messes with our long-term ability to focus sustainably on a goal or on a task. From a spiritual standpoint, there is another issue with this. So if we cannot hold our attention steadily on the vision which has not already been realized, we're gonna end up putting energy into external voices and thoughts which might not be empowering when it comes to realizing our desires. And then if our attention is not controlled and we do end up focusing on thoughts and ideas that isn't empowering when it comes to realizing our goals, those impressions are going to be lodged into our subconscious and they will become predominant in our conscious awareness, thus creating a lot of resistance, which would just make the job difficult. So essentially, if you cannot master your attention on a moment-to-moment basis, you wouldn't be able to take action towards your vision. Your consciousness is going to be overwhelmed by disempowering voices from the outside, and you're going to be spilling energy behind things that doesn't move you towards your goal. So the job's gonna become harder, and you'll end up with a lot less energy. See, the energy is there. Not being able to focus, it just drains it in very unproductive ways. Personally, for me, this happens in the form of rumination, just worrying about the future and all the possible what ifs and whatnot. And I just spend hours thinking about how things could go wrong. and then feel drained. For a lot of people, that translates to mental health challenges like anxiety and depression, oftentimes full-blown panic attacks. And in my experience, I have found that mastering your attention is one of the key features. If you feel bogged down by your thoughts and emotions and are going about life with this sense of heaviness, I think letting go is a practice that could be life-changing. Now, before I say anything more about letting go, I'm going to link up a card above there where I extensively go over letting go and how I have leveraged that practice. Make sure to check that out. That said, we have thoughts and emotions arising in our consciousness. And these are things that have energy signatures associated with them and makes us feel a certain way. Now, ideally, you want to be lighthearted and relaxed because that way you have the maximum amount of energy available to get through your day. But what happens with us oftentimes is this unhelpful thoughts and emotions arise and they just pull us down. Think of someone who is overly self-critical, like a little thing goes wrong, which no one really cares about, and this person is beating themselves up in their head about it for hours. That makes it very difficult to be present in the moment and to attend to the needs of the moment, which is what ultimately serves us. And practicing letting go really helps with that. Letting go is a very physiological process. You can approach it in a cognitive way, but eventually it should lead to this sense of release and it feels so good. Like you want to reach a place like this. And there are many different ways of doing that. Things like breath work, journaling, where you let your thoughts flow and experience a sense of release. But in my opinion, we should keep doing this as we go throughout our day. And challenging situations arise. Like as we are driving to work, someone cuts us on the road. And instead of reacting to that and launching a mental narrative, we just maybe smile a little bit. Maybe just breathe and reaffirm our vision of who we want to be, who is this calm, chilled, relaxed person who has an abundance of energy. And as we keep doing more of that, it becomes habitual. And now again, we find ourselves being able to do a lot more with a lot less. So those were the 3 ideas that I wanted to share with you guys in this video. So to sum it up, you want to have a vision that's inspired by your true desire, that turns you on and makes it effortless to keep moving towards that vision. And then you want to train your attention to make sure that you are not drifting, which leads to an abundance of energy. And then you want to supplement those 2 with practicing letting go throughout your day as you realize unhelpful thoughts and emotions arising. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.